Welcome to the 2022 Buffalo Music Hall of Fame induction. My name is Anthony Casuccio and I'm the president of the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame.
And I'm Tom Lorenz, the vice president of the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame.
Every year, some of Western New York's most memorable musicians are honored for their talent on and off of the stage, and this year's class is one to remember.
That's because the class of 2022 is 4 decades in the making. They have broken both records and barriers. Here are their stories.
2022 Buffalo Music Hall of Fame inductee Darrell Nutt stoked the fires of his Western New York musical upbringing to create a successful career as an internationally recognized drummer and producer, becoming a go-to source for touring, recording, and sampling. Described as a hard-working, blue-collar musician, Nutt grew up in Buffalo and Lockport, started drumming at age 4, and began performing in the 1980s at age 14.
My mom had set up pots and pans on the kitchen floor. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. I would just play and I had rhythm, and they noticed that. So 6, 7, and 8, sitting in with my parents' band and my whole family's musical, so my feet wouldn't even really touch the pedals, but it was something I was going to do forever. I just knew it.
At 17, Darrell was called on stage by Rick James drummer Mike Caputi.
Mike showed me Tower of Power and Rick James and funk and soul and R&B, and it's just like, it's like everything blew up. I loved all that music and I just soaked it all in. And Mike's responsible for showing me that stuff for sure.
Nutt built Def Media Studio in Southwest Florida, where he has recorded clients from around the world, while also working in graphic design, directing music videos, and creating drum tracks via the online marketplace soundbetter.com. He has provided drum loops and samples for dozens of projects.
I have a recording studio and I produce singer-songwriters, young people in my local area. Usually they're probably like 16 to 21 typically, and it's like their first time in the studio, and I'm passing that positive vibe and that positive mutual respect for them at a young age and giving that to them. And that comes from Buffalo, that comes from my upbringing, and I'm passing that along to them as they're starting their journey.
His credits include touring and recording with singer John Waite, and with members of Steely Dan, AC/DC, Goo Goo Dolls, Yes, Moody Blues, Bad Company, and Parliament Funkadelic.
I've played with members of those bands, but yeah, it's still an honor, you know. I mean, I've played some big arena shows with some of those guys, and it's a big thrill for me, and the fact that they entrusted me to back them, it means a lot.